course, I've always been proud that I am a native-born Oklahoman. I have roots on both sides of Oklahoma, one in the Indian Territory in Rogers County, Claremore, the other in Oklahoma Territory, Grady County. Well, on my mother's side, which is depicted behind me here, my grandfather is the man in the dapper leather jacket and the leather cap. Granddad spent every day in that pickup that he bought going to the gin and back. He made enough money to stay in Oklahoma. He liked what he found, which means that I am an Oklahoman because of cotton. I think it's largely aptitude, that history made sense to me from when I was a child. But I grew up listening to stories. But my grandmother helped raise me. Granny was born in 1893 in Arkansas. She's in the picture behind me. And Granny's dad was a veteran of the Confederacy. He fought for the South during the Civil War. And so I was only one generation removed from our Civil War veteran. It was real to me. I still have a talent for listening, and I like to hear people tell stories. Nothing is more satisfying to me than to be with people and ask them, well, where did you come from? I like asking questions because I really want to know about people. I'm interested. And if you use that basis of listening to stories, one person at a time, you listen to enough stories and you start getting this mosaic of a community. And then their stories put together tells a bigger story. Then you start seeing trends. Then you start looking for cause and effect. And what difference did they make when they made these decisions and these stories I'm listening to? Then as you back out and listen to more stories, and as you're learning and reading about other stories, the stories all combine into a bigger picture of Oklahoma City and then Oklahoma. So all the books that I've done have grown out of this interest in listening to people's stories, combining that with what else I've learned through the years in being able to tell a story. And for some reason I've had this ability to remember all of these stories. It just sticks up here. I don't have a delete button for all of these stories that I've accumulated now after 38 years at the Oklahoma Historical Society. To me, that's history in the first person. And to be able to listen and learn, it still motivates me. At Putnam City High School, thought I wanted to be an architect. I was a visual artist, so I was always sketching and drawing and even painting, working in clay, drawing house plans. I loved architecture, but I would write as well. Fortunately for me, I went to a little college in Weatherford, Oklahoma. My dad would give me $500 a semester. He says, son, beyond that, you're on your own. 500 bucks is what you get. And so I had met a professor at OSU when I was an undergraduate. He introduced him at my little history club back at Southwestern. I'd taken him to dinner, and I'd read one of his books, A History of Tombstone, Arizona, because I was going to introduce him. I called him, I said, Dr. Falk, on Blackburn, you wouldn't remember me, a kid at Southwestern. He says, I want to do what you do. I want to write books. Would you take me as a student? He said, Bob, sorry, it's too late in the year, but if you'll enroll, find a way to survive for a year, show me what you got, I'll consider you for the next year. I proved myself, wrote my first book that first year, got it published, made $500. I thought, hey, I can make money with history and writing. And Odie took me on, and that started my career in history, and he opened the doors. LOK is a special organization. For one thing, I've seen that it makes a difference. The network of people out there is something special to those people who have gone through the program. I can see the difference of LOK, and I know that leadership can be the serendipity of life, that someone gives you an opportunity to step into a leadership role, or others say, hey, we want you to be with us, and you just find a niche for yourself. So the serendipity is part of it. But I really believe that leaders are nurtured. LOK teaches that. And after a couple of decades of multiplying that by the leadership that's out there, the networks that have been formed, and people going on to the next phase of their life, in reinvesting and reinvesting, and then giving back, you can imagine the impact that will have over time. So this was one of the few organizations that really moved me when I got the call, that I was somehow part of this statewide effort to nurture a quality called leadership.